Hello my people, welcome to week 10, and we're going to talk about a psychologist view and Rogerian argument. Real communication occurs when we listen with understanding, and this was said by Carol Rogers. Then an introduction to Rogerian argument. Rogers points out that when we engage in an argument, we feel our integrity or an identity is threatened. We will stiffen our position. The sense of threat may be so great that we are unable to consider the alternative views being offered and therefore remain unpersuaded. Then Roger therefore suggests that a writer who wishes to communicate with someone as opposed to convict a third person needs to reduce the threat in sense as participants in the argument need to become partners rather than enemies. Then we talk about visual guide in the Rogerian argument. 1, you have to state the problem. Then 2, give the opponent's position. 3, grant whatever validity the writer finds in the position. Then 4, if possible, attempt to show how the opposing position will be improved if the writer's own position is accepted. Then after that, we talk about a writer who wishes to reduce the psychological threat to the position of and thus facilitate partnership in the study of some issues can do several things, and those things there are 3, and he has 1, show sympathy, like understanding the opposing argument, then recognize what is valid in it, then recognize and demonstrate that those who take the other side are not less person of goodwill. Then we have advocates of Rogerian argument are likely to contract, saying that the style of argument associated with Aristotle in 384 to 322 BCE, Greek philosopher, had these 2 characteristics. 1, seeking to refute others' view, and 2, it sees the listeners as wrong, as someone who must not be overwhelmed by evidence. Then we talked about, in contrast to confidential, we alleged seek to present an alright case. Then 1, it is non-confidential, and 2, it respects others' view and allows multiple truths. Then we talked about communication and its blocking and facilitation. It may seem clear that a person whose whole professional effort is devoted to physiotherapy should be interested in the problem of communication. What relationship is there between providing help to individuals with emotional trauma and concern for this conference with obstacles to communication? Then actually the relationship is very close indeed. The whole task of physiotherapy is the task of dealing with failure in communication. Then this is all we have for week 10 for the communication and the physiologist view. Then my response: I learned about the visual guide of the Rogerian argument. I learned about the characteristics of Rogerian argument, and I learned about what causes failure in communication. Yeah, thank you.